Hello, this is Josh Wells, and this short drawing here is going to give you an example of your path to success. The example I'm going to use is the path of my a recent promotion that I got at work, and I'm going to use that as the example. This example can apply to any goal that you have in your life and anything it is that you're looking to accomplish. So example I use is basically, if you picture me here, the promotion I had about a year ago is that I worked for the fire department, and I was promoted to the position of captain of company officer. It was a result that I worked hard to get, and it was something that I was proud to do, and it was a very competitive process, but I ended up doing well, and I've been in the position for over a year now. It's a great position, and it was a great success for me. And so this example it represents my path on that journey. And for you, I'd encourage you to think of what your outcome is. If you're looking to promote in your job, and if you're working for the fire service, this can be a good example, or it can apply to any other job. It can apply to an outcome with your family, with your body, with your finances, or with your faith. Any other area you're looking to expand, this is a good example. So here it is. Here I was a firefighter, and I was also in the engineer position where I drove the fire engine. And I wanted to go up here. This represented my goal. The first thing about my goal was that I made it very specific, and I knew exactly what I wanted. I made it specific, and I committed to it. And when I committed to it, I committed a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a decent amount of money towards obtaining this. So the first part is to get clear on what specifically do you want and how do you measure that. So for me, I wanted to promote to company officer. The department I work for is Sedona Fire, and I wanted to do it at the promotional test that was back in 2015. So that was my target, my specific goal. And so all I had to do was the perception of all I had to do was I started here, and I just had to elevate myself. I don't like the way that I want to try a little bit different line here, and we'll just do scribble. So I was here, and I wanted to elevate to here. Seems like a pretty simple path to success, and looking back on it, people can look back at me getting that outcome and they could say, oh, it was easy for him. He just followed this path and made it happen. But what they don't see is a lot of the adversity and the challenges I had to overcome to get here. And the two biggest things that can take you out on this path is the top here is your stories and your feelings down here. And underneath each of these, I put a positive and a negative. Because you have to, so that this drawing represents that there's a straight path, and you have to stay within these parameters to stay on course with your target. And there's two things going to try and derail your path and take you off course. The first one is stories, and the second one is feelings. These tend to go hand in hand, and they feed off of each other. But for the sake of the drawing, I separated them out. So here it is. I'm on the path here. I want to promote. The only thing that can take me out is the story I have as to why I cannot have it. So as I'm going on the path, I tested for this position about 5 years previous, and I didn't do very well. So I could have taken that story, and I could have made up a story that would have taken me off course. It would have been that I wasn't good enough to test, that I'm not meant for the position, that I'm not qualified enough for the position, and there was a whole set of stories that could have taken me out. And those did come up a lot. But I had to fight them, and I had to not get sidetracked by these stories. So there's the negative stories, and those stories would be something like, as I mentioned, I'm not good enough for the position, so why even try? But just as dangerous are the positive stories. I've already got a good position. Why would I want to promote? Something that seems positive is my life's great right now. What's the point of me having to work hard to get to the next level? So the stories can take you out. And then down here is the feelings. So there's a lot of times during the process, during my career, things didn't go as I planned. And a lot of times I get hurt feelings. And if my feelings get hurt, they can take me out. The feelings often create a story, and they'll feed the stories. So the feelings aren't necessarily positive or negative, but there's one question that'll help to keep you on track, and that's the main point of this drawing I wanted to share with you, is that regardless of what you're feeling, whether it's a positive feeling or a negative feeling, regardless of the story that you're telling yourself, whether it's a positive or negative story, these aren't good or bad, they just are. And what you have to ask yourself is there's one question, and the question that's going to keep you on track here, so I'm going to go ahead and type it out. And the question is, will that get me what I want? Yes or no? I'm going to align that center. Align that center. And this is the key to keep you on course towards your outcome. So when these stories come up, listen to the story, be aware of the story, and ask yourself the question, will this current story get me what it is that I want? If it's yes, then you feed the story. If it's no, then you want to delete the story. So if you get a no, then you need to delete that story. Cross it out. And that's a terrible drawing, but you cross it out if it won't, and you change the story so the story does not derail you. And if the feelings are not going to get you what you want, then change the feelings and redirect the story. Redirect the feelings, because the stories you tell yourself and the feelings you tell yourself, they're either going to serve you or they're going to enslave you. They're either going to take you off course or they're going to propel you down the path. So I'll give you one more example from my own experience. Is here, I want to promote. I promoted in the past and I failed it. I didn't do well. So it hurt. The feelings was I got my feelings hurt and I didn't enjoy the process. So there's two things I can go with it. My feelings were negative. I didn't enjoy the process. But will that get me what I want? Well, not if I choose to wallow in self-pity and become a victim, but if I take that pain, take that disappointment, and I use it as drive and I use it as fuel to propel me to prepare and to do better than I did before, then absolutely it's going to serve me. The same thing with the story. The story could be, I tested and I didn't do well, and because of that, I'm not going to do well on this one. That's not going to get me what I want. What will get me what I want is that I tested in the past, and I know from that experience what I need to do better. So the basic part is change the story, change your life. Change your feelings, manage your feelings, and direct them towards getting what it is that you want in life. A couple more things I'm going to show you. So again, your feelings, they're not good or bad, positive or negative. You just have to direct them towards your outcome. They're there to serve you. And if you can do this, then you can keep all your resources, all your personal power directed towards your outcome and accelerate your progress way faster than anything else. One more illustration I'm going to show you, and that is typically what, I'm going to delete this because it looks bad. But this question right here can change your life completely. When you hear a story, when you get caught in a feeling, say, will that get me what I want? If it will, you feed it. If not, then you need to starve it. You need to delete it, and you need to change that story, change those feelings, redirect the focus. This is what the path is actually going to look like for you. So what is most likely going to be like is it's easy to look at someone that's been successful in a result, and you're like, man, they just had this straight line path and they were super successful. But the reality behind it is that the path most often is going to look something like this. Oh boy, oh, I'm off track, telling a bad story. Here we go, back down here, fail, come back down here, up, lost, up, back again, and finally you reach your outcome and it's a huge success, and the world looks at you and everybody's proud because you were overnight success. But the reality in it is that don't expect your path to be easy. When you fall down, it's normal. You just have to dust yourself and get back up. When you get caught up in a story that takes you out of the game for a while, dust yourself off, get back up. When you get your feelings hurt, dust yourself up, get back up. When you get feelings, a positive feeling you have to watch is the greener grass. If you're pursuing this target, once you get close to the target, it may get boring, it may get mundane, you may get sick of doing the work, and you might start chasing greener grass down here. That can be just as elusive as a negative feeling. So realize it's going to happen. You're going to get off course. But if you stay committed and you have a specific measurable outcome, stay the course, direct your stories, direct your feelings. You'll find your success will be much closer than you think. That's it. I hope it was helpful. Have a great day. Goodbye.